Every day of your life, fear will cause you to make decisions one way or the other. And every time you allow fear to push you out of the presence of God into unrighteousness, you have capped yourself. Why? Because you have taken God out of your situation. You have created a limit. Even though when the devil presents the case, it looks like making the choice for Christ is a limit. And making the choice against him is what opens the door for you. Don't forget, he's a deceiver. Every moment of your life, you are making decisions. The totality of your life is the summation of all the decisions that you make every day. And those decisions impose limits on your life, or they expand your horizon. So for like 15 years, it looked like I was slow. Like I was slower than my peers because I wasn't interested in doing certain things. There were painful moments for me, but you know, like David, I always found a way to encourage myself in the Lord. And one good thing for me was I was in a church where I was being nurtured to stand on the ground of righteousness. So I got a lot of encouragement because my pastors were people who wanted to build a people of integrity and character. And that gave me the courage to continue. And then, when the season of testing and proven had reached a point where your master, who has assigned your portion of the jigsaw puzzle, of the master plan, knows you are prepared and ready because he has tried you and he has tested you, you will become as a wonder to many. Why? Because when it seems like you're moving like this, all of a sudden there will be exponential growth. Because who controls open doors? Who controls opportunities? Who controls blessings? The earth and its fullness thereof. The Bible says they belong to the master. Any land that God has not given you, even if man gives it to you, it will cause you pain. Any land that the Lord has given to you, 10,000 men cannot take it from you. Haven't gone through that season, and by the grace of God, seeming to come out of it. I got my first major board seat. If you know, for the Nigerians, you know when we had the Bumioni crisis in Nigeria for Cadbury. Then Cadbury International brought 2 British men into Nigeria to try and rebuild Cadbury. And after 3 years of rebuilding the institution itself, they were now at the point where they had, their last assignment was to build a board of integrity, they called it. They asked 6 people that they felt they could trust within the country, giving them a list of various points that should be met, and told them to bring up a list of people that would meet those criteria. They came up with a list of 30. From the 30, they whittled down to 8 based on additional criteria. From the 8, they whittled down to 6. When they got to 6, they started making calls. That's when I got a call. I had no clue I was on anybody's list. I had no clue I was involved in any process or anything. I hadn't asked anyone. There's not a single place I sit that I've asked anybody for help or asked to sit. Not one. I stand on the pulpit of God and I can tell you that Jehovah is a rewarder. He owes no man nothing. I got this call and I was traveling the next day. So I said, if they can meet me in the morning before I travel that night, fine. So these 2 guys came to my house. And for the next 2.5 hours, we had these long conversations and all of that. This was, I think, February. Anyhow, cut a long story short, a lot of processes and everything. And by October, 3 of us, Atedo Peterside, Dr. Sulaiman, and myself, became 3 independent directors for Cadbury. And the 3 of us still sit on the board till today. It was almost as if God's moment had come. Every year thereafter, I had a major accomplishment. This was October 2009 for Cadbury. By October 2010, I'd been appointed to the board of First Bank. By February 2011, I'd been appointed as chairman of the insurance company that was being set up between First Bank and Sanlam. Sanlam is the second largest financial services group in South Africa. So they had a joint venture company. And do I know anything about insurance? I told the group chairman who asked me that, I don't know anything about insurance. Why do you want me to be chairman of an insurance company? He said, what you know is what we need. The insurance people will be there. But it's a startup company, even though it's owned by 2 multinationals. And we need a chairman that has startup experience, that can build a company from scratch. They had a business plan that says we'll make profit in 5 years. But Jehovah turns things upside down. In 2 years, we were a profitable company. And God will draw attention to you because he will do the wonders, but you will be the benefactor. But only if you know how to trust him. That's where you take off the limit. Only if you know how to trust him and to walk with him according to his own word. The alternative always looks attractive, but it's a ploy by the enemy to cheat you, because it lures you into unrighteousness and takes you away from the miraculous. It gives you short-term limiting benefit that it can take plus more away from you later. But it tells you that going this way is too slow. Nothing is going to happen. But nobody can move mountains like God.